I work with sales, no? So parang I got into real estate. But it wasn't really that easy. Mukha lang siya madali. Na when you sell a property, you get the commission. It's not as easy as that. Kasi usually, you really have to build your credibility. Especially that time, if you're 23, it's hard for people to trust you with their money.
You would tell people that you made your millions as a millennial. Can you explain and tell us more about that?
I was able to hit my first million when I was 22 years old. But I lost it when I was 23 years old.
When you say loss, nagastos mo siya lahat? Or how
Yes,
did it...
concept kasi ng million, kala mo marami ng pera eh. Pero sa panahon ngayon kasi madali lang ubusin ng 1 million pesos. It's not really that big pala, especially if you don't know how to manage your finances well, or hindi ka magaling sa money management, or hindi ka masyadong financially literate. Sa isang iglap, wala na lang pala siya bigla.
What did you buy with 1 million?
Well, actually, ako naman kasi nag-resign ako sa parang stable job ko to kaya lang I had obligations of paying car, condominiums, ganyan, travel, ayan, mga typical millennial goals.
Made your first million, you'll try to make 2 million naman eh. Were you able to do that the next year? How fast was it? Kasi for me, the hardest is getting the first million. Pero once you start doing it na, dire-diretso siya. Similar to other stories that we had.
The thing kasi is I got the first million, di ba? And then I lost it. Of course, when you lost it, you have financial obligations. Nababaon ka sa utang.
Okay.
So you become financially in debt. So even if you earn or you try to earn it back, medyo meron ka pang kailangan bayaran before you become liquid again. If you don't really study that well, or feeling mo umiikot-ikot ka lang dun sa part na hindi ka na makali sa utang, kasi habang may utang ka, tumataas yung interest no matter how much you earn, di ba? So doon ako naging financial literate, doon ako nag-study, doon ko inaral yung mga books, doon ako nagbasa, doon ako talaga nag-research as much as I could.
How did you get savings and how did you stay out of debt already, or even get out of debt?
I work with sales, no? So parang I got into real estate. But it wasn't really that easy. Mukha lang siya madali. Na when you sell a property, you get the commission. It's not as easy as that. Kasi usually, you really have to build your credibility. Especially that time, if you're 23, it's hard for people to trust you with their money.
What would you reply to people at that time? Oh, sige nga, you're telling me to invest in real estate, but you don't have any property. What was the way that you would do it? Especially, I know that there are a lot of people who are relatively young also that might be going through that position in their life.
It's really building your reputation. It's really getting to know the client. It's really proving the client na alam mo yung sinasabi mo. At saka, it's really parang getting the client's trust. It boils down to it. So, there was this one client naman who trusted me, my very first client. After that one, and then after that, he bought real estate. He was happy with my service, tapos di-refer niya ako. So dumami yung sales ko. So parang I was getting back on track already.
Okay. When you were getting back on track, 23 years old, did you make $1 million again, or lesser than that, or more than that?
I was able to make my million again after paying all my debts.
Okay.
This time, I was back on track na.
When did you start saving? 23 years old also, or?
I started investing young. Kasi I started investing at 19. Pero kasi natigil siya because of financial debts niya.
So what was your first investment at 19?
My first investment at 19 definitely was a property.
Property also?
Property
okay.
na kagad.
Where was it? What property was this? 19 na, college ka pa nun?
Yeah, I worked in the US Tapos I went back. So
what
may
city?
savings
What
ako.
city?
Here in Taguig.
No, I mean in the US.
In New York.
Okay.
I worked in
Okay.
New York. I worked as a waiter in New York. So I was on a tip base, and then I went
malaki
back.
tip, malaki tip.
Malaki tip.
Pag di ka nag-tip, magagalit mga tao, magagalit sila.
Masarap masarap mag-work doon. And then went back, then was able to buy a property. Pero even before the turnover, parang hindi ko na siya mabayaran. I really had to get financial help, from people just to pay the property. Kasi ayoko mawala yung property. I don't want to lose all the years that you were paying for a certain
Pero
property, tapos mawawala
when you
lang.
were 19, you were in the States for working or studying and working?
Studying and working.
Ah.
Pero I went back here kasi parang sa akin, I did not want to serve my tables, the tables my
Okay.
entire life. Parang I need to find the purpose kasi.
So to add context, no, when you earned millions, what were you a breadwinner at that time, or you money mo sa
No,
sa'yo
I
na
was
lang yun?
never, I was never a breadwinner.
Okay, no naman. So,
it's just really
So
mine.
solo mo na lahat ng money. Were there any responsibilities kagad when you started working?
No, it's really like paying lang my car, paying
Okay.
my condo, really paying insurance policies.
Okay.
Yan. But
Here's an interesting question. Why did you choose to go back to the Philippines?
homesick lang din. Kasi bata ka pa eh. Parang, okay, you earn a lot in the US, pero I was there at 19 eh. Parang money is not really as important as it is when you're an adult eh. Parang I get to buy whatever I want, pero there's no fulfillment kasi sa akin. And syempre, medyo malungkot din yung buhay, iba dito sa Pilipinas. The thing is, when I went back in the Philippines is I cannot get the same salary that I had when I was working in the States. So when I worked here, I really had to lower the lifestyle, very hard to save then when I was working here. And then I started to have obligation, paying car, paying condos, ganyan. When you go into sales, hindi kagad-kagad ang pera. You really have to build it for the longest time, tulad nga ng sabi ko kanina.
Pero fast forward ngayon, income, are you doing better than in the States or better here in the Philippines?
Of course, so much better in the Philippines. There's a lot of opportunities in the Philippines,
Kasi
especially right now.
The reason why I asked that, a lot of people are thinking na, kikita ka lang pag nasa abroad eh, but people need to hear stories like this that you can be financially free in the Philippines that it can be done
If you really know how to make money here, even in freelancing, you can make a lot here. It's easier also to build a business in the Philippines rather than building it on another country.
Why did you go into real estate?
I was referring my friends or my classmates sa real estate. And then parang after 2 years, merong agent, yung ni-refer ko, nag-approach, binigyan niya ako ng 200,000 na paycheck. Sabi ko, wow, parang laway lang yung pinuhunan ko dito sabi ko. And parang I was earning more than what I was getting, sabi ko, with that transaction. So parang yan, and then I saw other people who was working in real estate, parang they were having coffee during, at the middle of the day. So sabi ko, parang gusto ko matry mag-real estate, sabi ko. And of course, there was the opportunity na meron nga daw money, or meron tinatawag na jackpot sa real estate. So yun, I resigned. I was an HR eh.
HR, layo.
Yeah,
Very
HR ang
far,
background ko, very far.
Okay.
I was never into sales. And then I went to real estate. Pagdating ko sa real estate, I really had to start from the bottom. Pero I think lahat naman whatever you do, kasi pag nag-uumpisa ka, I think it's really the hardest
For the past 6 years, in terms of capital appreciation, which has done better for you in your personal experience? Real estate, mutual funds, or stocks?
I have some properties. The capital appreciation is not really that high. Pero
Okay.
I had properties that are really, really good in terms of rental and unexpected price appreciation. So, it's say, stocks kasi I have not, the thing with stocks is I'm quite new. So I was not able to lock in my profit. I showed you my portfolio a while ago. So para stocks kasi it's paper gains, paper losses.
You weren't able to take profits.
So,
Okay.
Mutual funds is good. I think I had around 20% in my equity funds, around like that. So it's really a combination of all kasi it's really more of a portfolio in general.
So parang
to be able to retire at 30, you really have to have a good portfolio of investments Hindi pwedeng isa lang kasi it's too risky.
Okay. So in terms of based on what you said, it's real estate and mutual funds and stocks naman in that, as of this point.
As of this point.
Okay.
Yeah, pero sabi ko I really wanna learn stock trading
stock
So
trading.
maging chupetero talaga.
Or,
like you, idol.
Ano yung hardest part being a CEO in your mid-20s and running a company?
Discipline lang, dedication Pero this can be practiced through habits consistent habits talaga will make you successful. When I was starting the company, I go home 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, nung hindi pa stable yung company. It's like a baby that you grow. Kailangan mo talaga siya.
Do you give yourself a salary or you just get dividends from the company? How do you
I don't as a CEO kasi I'm supposed to get a salary, pero the company is mine as well, so I don't get it anymore, but all my expenses are charged to the company. So parang
living expenses
the living
covered,
expenses are covered. So para medyo tipid din. So parang it's a way really how not really to spend. Kasi pag alam kong ito yung salary ko, pwedeng ubusin ko yung salary ko at this ano. So it's really like reimbursing your living
expenses. Pero you have a budget
company.
From the company naman that's yung gastos mo rin.
No, I have a budget in mind. I have a budget in mind that parang try ko to stick with that budget. To maintain that budget. And then all the other the money that I use for investing in mutual funds, stock market, it's from freelancing, it's from
so those
other
are
income.
Excess on top of it already.
Yes, on top of it.
He's also a book author, by the way. Check his book out.
The Millionaire, becoming the next millennial millionaire.
Becoming the next millennial millionaire. Ang galing. So, my last question is based on that. Any tips or advice for millennials who also want to be financially free and be their own boss?
As a millennial, if you have an idea or you just wanna do it, just go try it. Like for example, when I resigned in the corporate, the reason my boss asked me, why are you resigning? It's hard to get this position. You work in a very good company. Parang my reason is I can always go back if it doesn't work for me. And I want to try it as young as I am. Kasi when I was working in that corporate, nakita ko yung mga employee na nagre-resign sila. They were serving the company for 20 years already. And then parang they resigned 55, 56 when I was HR, so I had to ask why they are resigning. So parang when they said I wanna try life outside the sabi ko only now, sabi dapat noon matagal ko nang ginawa, sabi nila. So parang doon ako natawan na parang okay, if I do it while I'm young, I can always go back. Kasi ang tip ko lang sa inyo, especially if you're under 30s, dapat by 30, alam nyo na talaga yung gusto nyo. Or parang you really know the path na where to go. Use your potential, maximize your potential, find your passion. Passion is very important. I know it's quite hard from the start, pero you don't stop. Ako, if bumalik na ako sa corporate, I won't be where I am right now. It's Friday morning and we're here with Marvin having coffee. Di ba corporate ka rin?
I was in IT for 5 years. Then
hindi alam masyado ng mga tao yan.
Yeah, I resigned. But I've been out na for 8 years na. 8 years. Just to recap what you said, no, it was very inspiring. Number 1, don't be scared to take risk, maximize your potential. Then just try it. I guess a lot of people are scared kasi na we're always hardwired na what if you fail. You have to understand this.
That's right.
Don't be scared of failing, because when you fail, you can always do it again and you can try it again.
And if it doesn't work for you, then you find another one. Very, very important that helped me a lot is I like studying. So I really attended seminars. Before, I was one of the people who was sitting there watching sila Marvin, sila Randall. Ngayon, I'm now sharing the stage with them. Ayan, so once upon a time I was there. I attended as much seminar as I could. I studied as much books. I read as much books that I could in terms of finance. I watched so much YouTube videos regarding yan talagang pinaka-important. Study, training, look for a mentor, and that's really the formula for success. Talaga.
Alright.
Invest in your education.
And you will see this in YouTube as well. So, I guess that's it, guys. I hope his story somehow sparked something in you. Check out his books, Millennial.
The Millionaire Becoming the Next Millennial Millionaire.
Becoming the Next
Or follow me on Instagram. It's at Carvajal, or like my Facebook page, Richard Carvajal the Millionaire. More of my stories are there.
Alright, so that's it. See you all again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.